Elite Facts presents
7 reasons why you should avoid online dating websites. This video is brought to you by GoMarry.com, the world's biggest marriage-only relationship site. Normal dating sites waste your time with empty promises and doomed dates, but we're different. All of our members are ready and looking for commitment, marriage, and family. Find your perfect husband or wife right now at GoMarry.com.
7.
Not many people are looking for a relationship. Unfortunately, most people use dating sites for one thing and one thing only. No, not to start a relationship, but rather for a cheap fling, a one-night stand, if you will. Most people would agree that on average, men are more eager for intimacy than women are. It's pretty common knowledge and is abundantly clear on apps like Tinder, where men will message any woman in hopes of a quick one-night stand. To boil it down simply, it seems that many men make the assumption that if a woman has an online dating presence, she's interested in sleeping with relative strangers. Now, are all men like this? No, not at all, but while online dating can be very convenient for both parties, especially if you're someone who suffers from a lack of confidence, women in particular should be aware that they probably will receive rude or disgusting messages from desperate guys. Although it's not guaranteed to happen, it's still a great risk when using dating websites.
6.
Too many liars. Oh, there's liars on the internet? Who would have thought it? Let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. Most people who use dating websites lie. They lie about what exactly? Well, everything. Most people probably wouldn't be surprised to learn that it's more common for people to lie in their online profile than to be completely honest. For further evidence, it was proven in a study that over 1,000 online daters in the US and UK conducted by global research agency Opinion Matters discovered a total of 53% of US participants admitted to having lied in their online dating profile. These results also showed that women lied more on their profiles more than men, with the most common way of lying being about their looks. The study showed that over 20% of female participants in this study posted photos of their younger selves. Don't worry though, men weren't much better when it came to lying, as their most common lies revolved around their financial situation, specifically about having a better job financially than they actually do. More than 40% of men indicated that they did this, but the tactic was also employed by nearly a third of women. Needless to say, no matter who you talk to on these websites, odds are they're lying about something. Whether it's their profile photo, their financial situation, their job situation, or how they're related to a wealthy Nigerian prince, odds are they're lying in some capacity. So just be wary when getting into contact with someone through online dating.
5.
Scam. If it's big on the internet, there's bound to be many scammers jumping on the bandwagon to steal your hard-earned cash in exchange for the promise of finding true love. Scams have been around since before the internet was accessible to everyone. Pyramid schemes, anyone? Of course, there are pitfalls and tripwires in every sphere of life, but this may be particularly true in the context of online dating. There's plenty of people out there who want nothing more than to scam you out of your hard-earned cash. In fact, online dating is probably the best way people can con you out of your money. Think about it. All they need to do is set up a fake profile, woo a person who is desperate for love, or even spend extended periods of time talking to that person in order to gain their trust, just so they can get their personal details and other important information from them, aka catfishing. The best thing you should do to avoid this is by using a throwaway email and not your email that's linked to important accounts like your online banking or even social media accounts. Of course, it should also be common knowledge to never give out any personal information to anyone through these sites, such as your phone number, address, and, as previously stated, your personal email. That is, unless you completely trust the person you're speaking to.
4.
We don't get to see all of them. Now, putting aside the section about people faking their personalities, let's say a person is being him or herself. Even though they're acting like him or herself online, that doesn't mean you're still seeing who they truly are. What we mean by this is that they're only showcasing their best features and not the whole shebang. In face-to-face interactions, we form impressions of others based on their general demeanor and other more subtle behavioral characteristics. The more information with which we are presented, the easier it becomes to form impressions of others. However, dating profiles present us with only fairly superficial information about our potential matches, which means that we are not seeing or being presented with the person as a whole. For all we know, the person you could be contacting may have similar interests to you, but may also have anger issues or may be a depressed individual. Consequently, the information which we glean from an online profile gives us very little to go on in determining how someone may actually behave in real life.
3.
Too many shallow individuals. Okay, so let's say that unlike the first point, there are people out there looking to start a relationship. Sounds fine, right? Well, not exactly. Most people tend to overlook the information and just look at the pictures, similar to how kids in preschool don't care about the words in a storybook and only care about the colorful pictures that come with it. People on dating websites always tend to be shallow and very picky with who they want to contact. So if you're someone who is attractive and is in good shape, guess what? You're good to go. But those who look average and below, even just saying that is horrible to say, we apologize. You could have the nicest and most interesting personality, but will most likely get overlooked. It's honestly a shame because countless people sign up to these websites in hope for finding true love. However, as we've previously mentioned, most people these days sign up looking for a cheap fling or just looking for someone who's attractive and nothing more. This can be incredibly discouraging for both men and women with amazing characteristics, and it's honestly a shame.
2.
It can have a drastic effect on both your confidence and personality. If you're dipping into the world of online dating, we hope you're ready to be rejected constantly, and we certainly hope you're ready to have your heart broken if a relationship does kick off. Sorry to be so negative, but the truth hurts sometimes. As you could probably imagine, constant rejection will have a drastic effect on your confidence. It's because of this that it makes finding your soulmate much more difficult. Now, let's say it doesn't have an effect on your confidence. Well done, you have emotions as strong as nails. The problem with online dating is that it can even make the most accepting of people shallow. For some reason, when someone signs up to an online dating website, their standards suddenly skyrocket. They might not be the pick of the litter, but that doesn't exactly stop them from being picky themselves. The U.S. Association of Psychological Science found that reviewing multiple candidates causes people to be more judgmental and inclined to dismiss a not quite perfect candidate than they otherwise would be in a face-to-face meeting.
1.
Will it work in reality? Now, okay, in some rare cases, dating websites have worked when it comes to starting and maintaining a relationship. There's no denying that whatsoever. However, the sad reality is that more often than not, relationships forged through dating websites don't tend to last. This is due to a number of different reasons. For starters, is the relationship long distance? Now this one is the bane to any relationship, both through dating websites and non-dating websites. Geographically distant relationships may be rather more difficult to sustain unless one person is prepared to move. That alone is a cause for argument unless both sides are reasonable with one another's requests. Research has also shown us that those people who went on to form long-lasting and sustainable relationships with others following a breakup with someone they met online were those who were prepared to compromise and possibly move house or leave a current job in order to make things work with their new partner, presumably suggesting that those who weren't willing to do this did not end up with more permanent relationships. The other big reason is simply down to whether or not that person is the correct fit for you. Yes, you two may have been a match because you both have similar interests, but when it comes to online dating, you're not going to put every single little detail about yourself on your profile. We don't think there's even enough space on your profile to do that. So the more time you two spend together, the more things you two will start to learn about each other, for better or for worse. For all we know, this is probably what online dating companies want. Maybe it's just a vicious cycle, as they don't want us to truly meet our soulmates and care about only one thing and one thing only: money. The more failed relationships you go through, the more times you sign up for their sites. Again, this may just be speculation, and again, we must reiterate that this isn't the case with all relationships formed through online dating websites. But considering all the factors that point towards relationships formed through online dating working out, it begs the question as to whether or not the risk is even worth it.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.